Hey, what's going on? This is Nick LS, and today I'm going to teach you how to ride a motorcycle for beginners. And I just want to preface, it takes a lot of practice and you're not going to get it right away. So let's begin. Looking at the bike, we're going to start with the handlebars and we're going to make our way from left to right, talking about what everything is and kind of what it does. So starting on the left here, this is your clutch. Right here, this lever. This right here, when pulled in, kills power to the back wheel. You're going to use your clutch when you're coming to a stop and also when you need to shift. This right here, this is your high beam. You always want to ride with your high beams on. You get more visibility. This is your blinker. It's not like a car. You have to manually switch the blinker and then cancel it. So blinker left, and then you're going to cancel, blinker right, and cancel. This is the horn, and the horn only is going to work when power is on. Okay, so this is this side. Okay, now here's our ignition with the key. It's one click for on. If you want to lock the wheel here, it's just all the way to the left, all the way, and pull it out. So that way, it's an anti-theft mechanism. It locks the handlebars. Put that in. Now moving on to the right side of the handlebars. This is your kill switch. In order for the bike to run, the kill switch needs to be set to down. Okay, this right here, this is your front brake. Your front brake is going to equate to 70% of your stopping power. So this is the brake you're going to use, heavier than the back brake, but you're going to use the back brake at the same time. We'll get into that in a little bit. This right here is a power switch. This is the final step to turn the bike on. And this right here, most important part, is your throttle. Okay, when you're pulling the throttle towards you, that's called rolling on the throttle. It's giving it gas. It's going to allow you to go. After you have it rolling on, then what's called is rolling off the throttle, is releasing it back to its starting position. And it can do that by itself, but it's best to do it slowly. Okay, this right here is all the handlebars. These are your gauges. This is the Ninja 400, so it has all digital gauges, and then this is obviously the RPM cluster. You always want to be looking at that, especially when you're newer to riding and you're shifting. You want to see what kind of range you're going to be shifting in. However, you always want to ride with your head up. This should be in your peripheral vision. So let's talk about the bottom left side now. Down here, this is your peg, and then up here, this is your passenger peg. Now let's talk about this. This is the shifter. Okay, when you first get on the bike, you're going to click it down to shift into first. This is going to allow the bike to go. Okay, and then to continue to shift, you're going to again press it up. When you want to go up gears, you lift up, you press it up. And then when you want to go down gears, you press it down. So with your foot, you just press it down, press it down. And to find neutral, it's a half a click up from that first gear, or a half a click down from second. Good, so that is that left side. Coming over here to the right side. Again, your peg, and then your passenger peg right here. This right here is the brake. It's the rear brake. It's going to equate to 30% of your stopping power. When you brake, you need to apply both brakes, but again, 30%, 70%. And when you're braking, using the front brake, you don't want to just squeeze it. It should be a sequential squeeze. These are all the controls of the motorcycle. So now we know all the controls on the bike and we know what they do. So now we can get on it. It's easiest to get on from the stand side just because it's already leaning towards you. So with your right hand, you want to grab your front brake like so you don't go anywhere, and then swing your right leg over. So now you're on the bike. Now you want to go ahead and bring it up. Go ahead and kick that stand up and then straighten out the wheel. Okay? Now, from here, you want to go ahead and turn on the key. And you can see through my digital gauge that we are in neutral, which is good. If you were not in neutral and you're in first gear, you just do a half a click up to find that neutral. Okay, so now our next step is to kill switch. Our bike can start in neutral without any clutch because we have a Ninja 400. So there's no need to pull in the clutch. The last step to do is hit the power. Okay, and once again, this is the kill switch, which stops the bike. Great, so now let's demonstrate that one more time. Get on the bike stand side, grab the front brake, swing the leg over, bring the bike up, stand up, handlebars straight, turn on the key, kill switch, and power. Like such. Perfect. Now we know how to start the bike, but we're not going anywhere since we're in neutral. So how do we go? What we're gonna do is, once the bike is on, we're gonna pull in the clutch, because remember, we pull in the clutch when we shift. Pull in the clutch, and at the same time, press down to find that first gear. Press down to find first gear. The bike is going to be engaged. There's gonna be power to that back wheel, and you're gonna start to go. What's really important is working on finding your friction zone. And what friction zone means, it's where the bike starts to grab as you slowly start to let out the clutch. If you let out the clutch too fast, you're gonna kill the bike. So you wanna find that perfect sweet friction zone spot where the bike is gonna grab and it's gonna take, okay, without killing the bike. So I can demonstrate this for you. Power on. Again, clutch. Kick down into first and slowly let it out. See how it's starting to grab? Now bringing it back in. Letting it out and bringing it back in. So I'm finding that friction zone. A very good practice you can do is, once you get into first gear, slowly let out the clutch and then bring it back in, and you can kind of rock back and forth. Let out the clutch, bring it back in. Slowly let out the clutch and then bring it back in. I can demonstrate that. Slowly letting it out, bring it back in and come back. You just rock back and forth, just like this. Finding that friction zone. Good. So now we worked on our friction zone. So now what's left to do is to go. So we're going to let out the clutch slowly, and then you're going to be riding. The bike's going to take. It's not going to go very fast. It's going to go about 5 miles an hour on the Ninja 400, but you're still riding. So what I'm going to do now is slowly let out the clutch and then just go, and then put my feet up, and you're riding. Here's that. Again, clutch in, down into first, and slowly let it out. It's gonna grab, and it grabs. Boom. Now we're going feet up. Now we're going. We're riding. We're not going fast, but we're going. And when you want to come to a stop, clutch in and brake. Left foot comes down first. Left foot comes down first. So we were going and we were going, and when we wanted to stop, when you want to stop the bike, pull that clutch in. That's going to kill power to that back wheel, and then apply your brakes. You're going to slowly come to a stop, and when you come to a stop, you want to come to a nice peaceful stop. So put your left foot down first, followed by your right. Now we want to go faster. How do we go faster? Well, we use some throttle right here on the right hand side. Again, rolling on the throttle. So same thing as before. We're going to go into first, let it grab, put our feet up, and then we're going to give it some throttle to go a little bit faster. And then when we come to a stop, clutch in, brake, and left foot down first. Here we go. Okay, so feet up, and we're riding. Now here's some throttle. Just give it a little bit. You start to go. Alright, roll off. Clutch in, brake, foot down, and there you have it. And let's go back. Again, let out that clutch. Perfect. Feet up and give it some throttle. And roll off, clutch, and brake. Left foot down first, and good. All right, our next progression is shifting. So how do we go faster? We shift up gears. Perfect. So how do we do this? Well, when we're giving it throttle and we want to go up a gear into second, what we do is we roll off the throttle. That's very important, rolling off the throttle. Once there's no throttle, we pull in the clutch, and then this shifter down here, we go up. We push it up with our foot. And then once we push it up, we slowly let out the clutch, and then we give it some more throttle. So again, letting it grab, letting it grab, letting it grab, feet up, give it some throttle, roll off the throttle and shift up. Bring it around one more time. Again, we're giving it throttle, rolling off the throttle while we're bringing in the clutch with our foot going up one gear. That's it. And then letting the clutch out and slowly rolling back on the throttle. So I'll demonstrate that one more time. And actually, I'll show you my foot this time too. We'll look down. You're not supposed to look down, but I'll show you. Alright, here we go. So that is how we shift up. Now, how do we shift down? Good question. It's going to be the same exact process of upshifting. Instead, we're taking our foot and we're pressing down. We're pressing down on that shifter. So again, we're rolling off the throttle, bringing in that clutch, and shifting down a gear. All right, so now let's practice our downshifting. So again, I'm going to shift up into first and then second, and then after that I'm going to go back down into first. And let's do it. Going up a gear, now rolling off throttle, clutch, down, letting out the clutch slowly. Demonstrate that one more time. Down, slow, just like that. So that is the basics of riding a motorcycle. We talked about the controls, what they did, we talked about the clutch, we talked about gaining speed, as well as upshifting and downshifting, and braking. Good luck practicing, and have fun riding out there. Please subscribe if you haven't already for more videos. Peace.